Well, the trial of Deputy President William Ruto and journalist Joshua Arap Sang opened today with opening statements from prosecutors Fatou Bensouda, Anton Steinberg, and the legal representative of victims Wilfred Nderitu and Ruto's defense counsel Karim Khan. Here's what happened in the courtroom earlier today.
All rise, veuillez vous lever.
A call to order.
Our court is now in session.
And a half smile from Deputy President William Ruto as the blinds were raised between the courtroom and the public gallery. The curtains were up in his trial. He and journalist Joshua Arap Sang are facing 3 counts each: murder, forceful deportation and persecution. The details of the charges that they denied in their deeds and words before the 3-judge bench of the trial chamber 5.
How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Bensouda, who's leading a team of ICC prosecutors, accused the deputy president of forming an army to go to war for him. He allegedly enlisted former military friends, elders and political collaborators, using his influence as a leader in the region. This network that she says planned, financed, provided and transported weapons and provided other logistical support for the youth involved in the fighting. In her opening statements, prosecutor Bensouda charged that the deputy president carefully planned the violence way before the 2007 vote.
Who is responsible for the violence? The prosecution asserts that the 2 accused, Mr. William Ruto and Mr. Joshua Arap Sang, are among the most responsible for the crimes of murder, of persecution and deportation that occurred in the Rift Valley.
The prosecution will present up to 22 victims and witnesses, common Kenyan people, who will describe the attacks on each of these locations. They will testify that the attacks were preceded by the sounding of the traditional Kalenjin Nderu, or war cry.
The details of these charges contained in the 64 pages of accusations prepared by the prosecutor. These charges that Ruto's counsel, Karim Khan, dismissed as a clear and glaring conspiracy of lies, turning the heat on the prosecution for what he termed as lazy investigation.
A lot of talk about the political dynamics of Kenya. The ODM, the PNU, and all the rest of it. But, Your Honour, perhaps with all this talk of oranges, bananas, it's only fair, and forgive me, the prosecution have slipped on a few banana skins on the way. They've got it so obviously wrong.
Mr. Sang, on the other hand, is accused of using his popular show to spread hate messages. That Kass FM was the platform where these messages of Kalenjin unity supporters mobilized and the youth prepared for attacks.
Mr. Sang contributed to the common plan and ultimately to the crimes by placing his show Lene Emet at the disposal of the network. Mr. Sang was the voice of the post-election violence in the Rift Valley.
The prosecutor and the legal representative of victims had raised concerns over witness intimidation.
And it is fashionable to hear virtually every other day that, quote, Kenyans have moved on, unquote. Meaning that they have decided to abandon any avenues for justice and instead have chosen to forget the atrocities committed in 2007-2008.
Well, the court adjourns till Wednesday morning for the opening statements from Joshua Arap Sang's defense counsel and further directions from the court. Reporting for NTV from the ICC, I am Sheila Sendeyo.